Okay, we're still on discrete random variables. We're going to have a look at the var of x. Okay, please don't copy this bit into your notes, okay? This is just a bit of background. So we're trying to find this thing here called var x, and var stands for variance. And I don't know if you remember, we had a little rhyme. We're going to remember variance, squariance. So the variance is known as this symbol here, and it's the standard deviation squared. Okay, so the standard deviation, let's go back, we're looking at our frequency table. The standard deviation is this, we did x squared times f over the sum of f minus the mean squared. So that's the standard deviation. So if we want the variance, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get rid of this square root sign. Okay, so we're basically finding the variance, and the symbol for the variance is that. Okay, so if this was a frequency table, what we would do is we would do the sum of x squared times f. So I'm going to set it out a bit differently. So x squared, 1 squared is 1 squared times f, and we're summing, plus 2 squared times 20 plus 3 squared times 15 plus 4 squared times 5. Okay, all over the sum of f, which is 60, and then we've got to minus the mean squared. Now, I know that the mean is actually 115 over 60, but I'm just going to leave it as minus the mean squared. Okay, so in here, let's have another little look at this. If all I have now is this discrete random variable, if I look back up at the frequency table, can you see how I work it out? The variance is now 1 squared times 10 divided by 60. So it's this squared times this. Let's have another little look at another one. So this one here, number 2, is 2 squared times 20 divided by 60. So it's this squared times this, okay, etc., etc. So let's move him over because I'm going to need to have a little bit of room. Let's move him up. The variance of my discrete random variable is found very similarly to x times its probability, except it's not x, it's x squared. And the bit that you are all going to forget to do is this bit on the end. Here he is. We must not forget to minus the mean squared. Now, in your formula book, this is written for you, so you don't need to learn it. But the only thing that I'm going to say is, instead of them writing the mean squared, they write this thing here called a mu, all right? And that's another symbol for the mean. Okay, so that's in your formula book. Okay, you can start writing now in your pack. This is what you're going to write for the variance. So we're going to write the variance is the sum of x squared times its probability minus mu squared. And if you're not happy with that kind of thing called mu, it's just the mean squared. Okay, so the sum of x squared is 1 squared times 10 over 60. Again, you're going to get fed up with writing this out. 2 squared times 20 over 60 plus 3 squared times 15 over 60 plus 4 squared times 5 over 60. Do not forget this bit now. Minus the mean squared. Right, you're all going to forget that bit. I guarantee that you will. Okay, minus 115 over 60 squared. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of evaluating. 1 squared times 10 over 60 is 10 over 60. 2 squared is 4 times 20 is 80 over 60. Plus 3 squared is 9 times 15 is 135 over 60. 4 squared is 16 times 5 is 80 over 60 minus my mean squared. Okay, I think it's coming to 305 over 60 minus my mean squared, and the whole thing is then coming to 1.4097222 2 loads of 2s, probably missed a 2 off there, and 1.41 to 3 sig figs. All right? Okay, here's one for you to try. So pause the video and then I'll throw the answers up. Okay, here are the answers. Did you remember to minus the mean squared? Okay, 0.916 recurring, which rounds to 0.92.